Welcome everyone to today's episode of Flat Tire Dan. As always, I want to start out by thanking everyone who has subscribed to our YouTube channel, Flat Tire Dan, and has viewed and commented and shared and liked our episodes. We really do appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get into the content of today's episode, I just want to touch on a couple things real quick. I mentioned in our last episode that it was surprising, but that one of our previous episodes, the one where we did sort of the detailed walk around of my old Can-Am Commander, had just exceeded 4,000 views, and how we were surprised that people were actually watching, and that we were grateful that people were actually watching. And I just kind of wanted to point out, I think as of yesterday, it exceeded 6,000 views, and so it really is super cool that you guys are checking us out. And if you are watching our episodes and you haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel, please do. What it does, it helps us reach more people. We become suggested to more YouTube viewers, and kind of we mentioned in the beginning of this whole thing, like one of our goals is just kind of spread, silly, happy stuff. And so if you subscribe to the channel, it gives us the better ability to do that. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe. I have heard you. Obviously, you guys keep asking for more and more off-road content, and I get it. And I've actually spent some time in my new Can-Am X3. Although I didn't do a lot of video stuff with it yet, just because I've been focusing on breaking it in and kind of getting used to the machine. But there's some stuff coming up. So later this month, me and a couple of buddies are heading out to like Western Pennsylvania to do a whole weekend worth of riding, and I'm planning on taking a bunch of content there. And then in May, we have another event we're going to, kind of one of those like UTV takeover weekends, and I plan on getting a bunch of content there. So I hear you, and you're going to be seeing a lot of that X3 pretty soon. Thank you for reminding me that Triton and I still haven't been to Valley Forge National Historic Park yet to finish that series where we were doing on the parks connected by the Perkiomen Trail. And him and I are planning on getting there next weekend if the weather permits. And I hear you, more Triton. Everybody wants more Triton, so he's coming. So I think that's all the housekeeping I wanted to do. I mentioned in the last episode that I had a couple surprises for you, where I was gonna sort of bring you content that maybe you didn't expect from this channel, that you hadn't grown accustomed to. And so today we're gonna get started with one of those things. Today I'm gonna have the first ever live guest on Flat Tire Dan. I've invited my friend Molly, who's a daughter of some best friends of mine, and she's one of my best buddies, and I invited her on the channel today, so if you could, welcome Molly.
Hi!
All right, that's Molly. So before we get, and you've seen by the title of the episode that we're going to be talking a lot today about like Molly's involvement in karate and how much that means to her and kind of how important it is to her life. But before we get into that, I thought maybe it might be important just to give you a little background on Molly, let her give you a little background on Molly, like who she is, what she's into, that kind of stuff. So Molly, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Molly, and I'm in 4th grade, and my favorite some stuff I like to do for fun is I like to go four-wheeling, I like to fish with my dad, and I like to play video games. One of my favorite video games to play is it's on my Oculus, and it's called Gorilla Tag.
Gorilla Tag. All right. So how old are you?
I'm 10.
10, 4th grade, like video games, like going riding with your dad. Yeah, Molly's actually part of our crew, part of our off-road crew. I've been riding with Molly a bunch of times. So a couple weeks ago, I've been to a bunch of Molly's karate classes, and they're great. I enjoy going. And a couple weeks ago, Molly invited me to her brown belt test, which is a big deal in her karate journey here. And so I was fortunate to be able to get there, and I really find the whole thing like super intriguing, super interesting, and how healthy it is for all the kids and stuff like that. But I kind of want to give you a little background before we actually get into the physical test. We have some video and some pictures and stuff from the event. Molly, what is it exactly that attracted you to karate? Before you ever joined up, before you ever even thought about going, like what made you want to get into karate?
Before I answer that question, I would like to shout out a few of my friends.
Yours?
I want to shout out my friend Sophia. I want to shout out Marissa, August, Dalton, and Theo.
Got it. All right. So Molly's saying hi to her friends. That's always good. All right. So tell me, why'd you want to get into karate?
Because me and my brother like to fight on a trampoline. Not like mean fight, but
like brother fight.
Yeah, we try to beat each other. And my brother always wins, so I joined karate so I could beat him.
All right. I'll preface this, Molly's brother is in his early 20s, all right? But no, that's as good a reason as any. So I'm gonna start showing you a little video footage of the brown belt test, but Molly, real quick, if you could just touch on the significance of brown belt, like what does that mean as far as like karate?
To be a brown belt, it means to like, it's almost like a game. Like you get to like do different levels. And to be a brown belt, it's like you made it to like like a really hard level almost in a video game. But what it means is like you get like it means like you. It's not about like punching. It's not how good you are. It's about how much self-control you have.
Nice. Like a commitment to the whole vibe of karate. That's awesome. Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to show you the first of a couple of videos that we took from there, and then when we come back, Molly can tell you a little bit about what we saw.
That's it. That's all. Staying good.
Okay, so what I saw there, Molly, and I want you to do a better job of explaining it, is that in this episode, this part of your brown belt test, it was about like self-defense and like the physical aspects of karate and kind of where you're at your brown belt level. But tell us a little more about it.
In that video, we were doing our punches. We have a special kata for our punches. That was like the second thing we were doing. It goes jab, cross, hook, uppercut. But we have a special kata for it. A kata is like where, like in math, how you have like, remember, like you do like 2 times 2, like that stuff you have to remember almost like.
Like a routine.
Yeah, like a routine. And the first thing we were doing was called a trap and roll. It's where like if someone like gets like if someone pins you to the ground and they start punching you, it teaches you how to like prevent that. So like you trap their arm, trap the foot, and then you upa and roll.
Okay. So karate is somewhat about physical defense, physical exercise, and self-defense, like being able to defend yourself in case of whatever. Okay. So that was what that first part of the first clip of her brown belt test was about. And the next one, I think, gets more into the mental aspect of what karate is. And so we'll let you watch that one now, and then we'll come back and Molly can explain that to us.
Alright, so if you're out of the Brooklyn Pizza, you can have your new belt. Good luck. Kansas City! Chamber! Breakthrough! kids class level, got a yellow belt here. Lil DeFazio! Brooklyn Peter! Professor Nathan! Marshall Kimmel! Rita Nolan! Brown belts, first belt again, advanced level. So regular orange beginner, purple, blue, green, intermediate, brown, red, high red, black, advanced level. Let's hear it. Molly Sama!
Okay, so what I saw there, different from the first one, like the physical aspect of it would be like more of the routine and the different routines that you have to learn and memorize in order to get to that level. And then you and like all your other classmates, like your team kind of getting their belts together, friends and stuff like that, kind of working towards a common goal. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
So the first thing we did was our nunchuck kata. That was almost like the final test. That was literally that was the final test. So it didn't depend on how good you did. You just had to perform it. And so what I meant was that I had to do that to get my new belt. And when I got my new belt, while we did like the Isa thing, that was like to celebrate people. It's like victory almost. And on the wall, in the background, you might have saw on the wall it said like perseverance, all that stuff, with like the Chinese handwriting on it. Those are our ending creed, and we have to remember those because that's what we do in karate. And what they do is they tell us what to do. You have to what to expect out of us.
Okay, so they have like these sayings around the class that are like different life lessons, like perseverance and endurance and integrity and all that kind of stuff. And that's all is equally important as the physical stuff in karate, where they want to teach you to sort of have a certain character that goes along with your advancement through karate. Yeah, well, I can see why that would be important and interesting. So, what else? Just hit us with stuff that you find you really enjoy about karate, how it benefits your life, what more we need to know. Go, the floor is yours.
What is about karate is we have to almost complete different levels. And what's about karate is how it helps me is I used to get kind of frustrated before I joined karate, not just in general. Sometimes I just got frustrated. When I was playing some games, I might got frustrated because I died. So karate helps me to stay calm.
Nice. And does it help you physically? Do you feel like you're in better shape now since you started karate?
We do fitness stuff and on the punching bags. That helps me because sometimes I get mad, so then I punch the
Yeah,
bag.
get your aggression out. I can relate to that. Have you made new friends? Have you made met new people in your life that you're friends with now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's always good. All right, you spent a little time earlier kind of going through the belt sequence and kind of how what the belts mean and how that all works. Why don't you explain to us briefly how what you went through to get to your brown belt level?
So this is the first belt. What I'm gonna explain to you first is not the belt. I'm gonna explain the stripes.
Okay.
So well, first of all, I have my name on it. It's hard to kind of see,
Right.
but it says it. And these are homework stripes. The homework stripes are for homework in karate.
Karate
We have
homework.
special homework
Got it.
for karate, and this is called a parent stripe. This is the most important stripe because if you're being mean or doing something bad, your parents can just rip this off. Doesn't matter if you have this one. This one's the last level. These are 3 months worth of stripes right here. These three, the two black and the red. They're 3 months worth of stripes, and if it doesn't matter if you have this red one. The red one's the last level. You need that one to graduate, but it doesn't matter if you have the red one and you don't have this gray one.
Right. So the parent stripe is the most important. You have to hold on that the whole time, and that has to do with if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing outside of karate.
And so this will matter later. This one has two.
Two. Okay.
Two bucks.
Go ahead.
And my next belt is the yellow belt. I'm still in the beginner's class at this point. I was still at the beginner's class.
The beginner level, like you were
Yeah.
talking about in video games. All right. All right.
So like this was like this one, and I still have two, and then that stripe. This one I don't have my name on.
All right. So white, then yellow.
And then this is the last level.
The last belt in the beginner level.
Yeah.
Got it.
This one, I don't know why I don't have a red stripe on this. I think I was gone for a while. But this one has three. I don't. This one only had. These two only had two.
So as you go up, it becomes more and more work to get to the next level, right? Like you were saying in video games.
And I have a lot. I have a lot of homework.
Homework stripes. You still have your parents' stripe there. That's important.
And then I have my purple belt. And before I talk about the purple belt, I forgot to say this. There's this paper that the parents have to fill out and your teachers. So if they mark it, it says always, sometimes, never, or something like that. And so if like they do never for everything, and they say the parents is like the main thing,
Right.
what you do. But back to the belts. This belt is the new level. Like it's like stages. The other belt, the main belt is like, the belts are like the levels, but this is like stage 2.
Stage 2, the medium, intermediate level, right? The first three were the lower level. This is the beginning of that next level.
And then I got this one. This one is my blue belt. The
Alright.
blue belt has 4.
Just keeps getting harder.
Technically has 5 because this stripe, the red stripe, counts as a month.
Okay.
I had my last belt, the one that I was wearing at the graduation place. This is my green belt, and the green belt has 4 stripes, well, 5 stripes, and I saw the parent stripe on that one. And then this is the new belt I received.
Nice.
It has none. I'm pretty sure for this one you need like 6.
All right, and now the brown belt is the beginning of the next level, right?
Yeah, like the next stage. So this is like stage 3, the advanced class.
Advanced class. Now, how many belts are you away from becoming, I guess at your age, a junior black belt?
Yeah.
How many belts are you away?
I want to stop you right there where you said junior belt. Depending on my age, it's not about like what age you are. It's about, so I could be like at my black belt when I'm like 11.
Really? Wow, that's interesting. Okay, so how many belts are you away from being a black belt?
I am 3, I think. I have the red belt. I have the red belt, which is after this one, the high red belt, which is a red black belt, which is like both. It has like a,
It's 2 different
it
colors,
divides
right?
it.
Right.
It like divides it right here and right here.
Okay.
And then the last stripe, and then I'll get my junior black belt. But the next level, I will have like different sides. So like it'll have one black, and then one white, one black, one yellow, like.
Sweet.
And then I'll do it all again. And then I'll get my final black belt. And when you get your final black belt, you don't get like these. You don't get like these.
Any more stripes anymore, right?
You don't get these stripes. Every year you get a stripe though.
Right, because you're not working
And-
through levels at that point.
And you get your name written on it, I'm pretty sure. And then like it like gets sewed on.
Right.
The different, like you get lines sewed on it.
That's awesome.
My sensei has like 3, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that definitely was useful. It's gradual work, you know, commitment, and obviously I really like how they incorporate your parents, you know, into your training, and the fact that they need to be part of this and they need to make sure you're doing stuff, you know, you're supposed to be doing inside and outside of karate. That's super interesting. Before we sign off, Molly shared a story with me earlier. I'm going to remind her about it because I think it'd really be interesting for you guys to hear. Molly was talking to me a little bit about how, you know, through COVID, and then she would get sick every now and then, and she would have to step away from karate for short periods of time just because life, you know, life happens. And how interesting and how eager she was to get back to karate every time. So Molly, why don't you tell me a little bit that story you told me earlier?
So I joined karate my sensei, we had to wear masks all the time.
During COVID.
And it made it really, and it made it really hard to do it. And finally we got to stop wearing masks. But karate like helped me socialize more, and also when I got sick now and then, every single time I came back, my sensei either had a beard, like either his beard was really long, and then like when I went away for a little bit, his beard was really short.
You look
again.
different when you went back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is that my sensei?
So yeah, and I've met him, and he seems like a great guy, and he seems like he's really like connected with all you guys. Where he's as committed to your relationship as you guys are. I think it's a special relationship, and I've been fortunate. I really enjoyed kind of watching Molly go through this. I'm going to continue to watch, and maybe when Molly gets to her black belt, we can do this again. But I think Molly's going to be a regular participant on the channel coming up here. So keep an eye out. I want to thank Molly again for inviting us into her world a little bit. I know it's not always the easiest thing to do, but I thought that maybe some other parents or kids or something that might be looking for an outlet, like for something to do that's good for them physically, it's good for them mentally, it teaches them commitment, it teaches them responsibility, like all those things. They're all good things, and you can have fun doing that. They don't always have to be a drag. Anything else, Molly, before we sign off?
No.
Okay. Thanks everyone for tuning in, as always. And you're going to be seeing some more stuff that you're asking for here coming up shortly. And remember, stay tuned for more content from
Flat Tire Dan.
Flat Tire Dan. We'll see you.